Relax.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Diggler's Den. I have two of my favorite special guests here. Pimp, my guy Shorty Pimp and Renea. They came out to Diggler's Den just to, come and just say a couple of words, get a little, what I'm saying, of what's going on in their life out there in the open. And hopefully, what I'm saying, y'all will get in contact with them as well. How you guys doing?
Hey man, I'm good. I appreciate you for having me on, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that.
No problem, man. How y'all day been going so far?
A little slow motion today.
Yeah.
I had to work, but it's cool. I had to work at the daycare today, but yeah.
Oh, you work in the daycare?
Yeah, my wife and you already have a daycare,
that's
so
right.
yeah. So we still got the little one, so So I had to put them hours in today.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk. We have a couple of topics we're gonna talk about. Definitely surrounding mental health and PSTD and some of the things that they have also been able to achieve and accomplish. In spite of. Let's say that, in spite of. So, Shorty Pimp, tell people a little bit about yourself. Where you from. They don't know too much about you. Music and a couple of other things that you've been doing.
Okay. Well, yeah, Shorty Pimp 863. I'm from Lakeland, Florida, originally. Born and raised in Polk County. Still reside over there. Graduated high school, went straight to the military. First duty station was war, frontline. 4 years in the military. And then after that, I did 10 years in law enforcement, working with juveniles at Polk County Juvenile Boot Camp. And then from there I transitioned into doing poetry. Okay. And then once my son got in high school, he started producing, making beats, and then that's how I transitioned into the music.
Okay, so wow.
Yeah.
My sister, Miss Renea, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm blessed.
Radio personality, great singer, I can say composer, model as well too. She's a model.
Back in the day, not now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So tell people a little bit about yourself, what you got going on, what you been doing.
Well, a lot and not enough at the same time. Too much and not enough at the same time. But right now, a friend and I opened a private school, so this will be our 3rd year. We go K through 12.
Okay.
And thank you. I love the kids. But that's a lot. But I'm still doing shows. I'm still writing.
Okay.
I'm still doing my gospel piece as well, because I have to stay rooted and grounded. So I always let people know, even though I sing a little R&B, but I like people to know that my background, my whole foundation is based on the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
And I don't mean to stir no controversy today. I know you are a woman of God. The new single that you got coming out.
So it's called Loyalty Over Love.
Okay.
Loyalty Over Love. It's a ballad. I almost said I should have said it to you, but that's all right. I know how to.
Well, you have it on your phone. Okay.
Yes.
We'll definitely get to let the people listen to it.
Yes.
I just tell people I take that all day.
All day. That's right.
The love might run out, but if you loyal to me, you're gonna be loyal to me till even when you don't love me no more. You're still gonna be loyal. Yeah, it's dope like that.
Yeah, but that's how it is. Because people say, I love you. I love you. You say, well, could you? No, I'm not gonna be able to.
So you still doing radio? You still into radio?
I'm still doing radio. Well, off and on with 96.3 FM.
Right.
And
big shout out to them.
Yes. So what we were doing is recording my shows and just playing them like that. Okay. But I think they need a tower, because it reaches, but not as far reach that like we once had. So.
You were saying something about you you ready to start doing some shows or some podcasting?
Yes, I'm trying to do, well, I'm not trying, but I have everything to do with podcasts, and I'm trying to tie everything together. In fact, I'm doing a reality show. It's called What's Poppin' with Renea. So my focus is like minority businesses,
Right.
or anybody that's just they're coming up in some type of business. It could be music, education, entertainment,
Right.
entrepreneurship. So those are my focuses there, and so I'm just popping up. So
Okay.
I pop up. So I might be popping. Well, I'm gonna pop up on you because I need to get you on the show. This would be a good, yes. What's popping, Marcus?
What's popping? Oh man, I'm gonna tell you what's popping. What's popping is we coming together and unifying and working together with our gifts and our talents and pushing one another's platforms and you know what I'm saying, ideas and thoughts that they're doing. So I love that. You know, both of you guys are into you know, the youth and the kids, and that's great. You know, we definitely gotta leave them something to, you know, be great. You know, be great upon, you know.
That's so true. So we do,
Yeah.
it takes a village, and we do need to instill in our kids. Because a lot of times when people go on to glory, they feel, oh, they left me this and they left me that. But it's not about the tangibles, it's about what they leave you within. And, you know, I'm just speaking from like my grandparents and things
Right.
like that, the things that they've instilled in me. Same with my parents, thank God they're still living. But they still, you know, instill in us. So
Right.
that's what we do. We need to take the time for our youth.
So, from, you know, the background and things that you've been into, law enforcement and things like that, I know you had opportunity to be around youth,
Right.
you know, and deal with them. At the brink of where they are right now, what do you think that'll be some things that we could do as a community to help these youth out to get them back on the right road?
You know what? It's I'm glad you said that, because when you listen to the song Slave Ship, you know, the EP, and the song on the Slave Ship, you know, I have a poem in the song as well. I talk about that in the song. And one of the biggest things that I say in the song is, you know, summertime programs, you know, summertime jobs. These just strap up and they look the raw. Growing up in the hood, life is hard. So I know for me, you know, we had middle school sports, we had summertime job programs, you know, so those things, you know, kept us out of trouble. You know, it gave us something to do. And with the world of social media and the influence of everything that's going on in the streets, and from, you know, like she said, from a spirituality standpoint, we got to find a way to captivate their mind, you know, in a positive standpoint. And I don't like to say all of them, because you have those, you know, that is good, but we just got to get more programs, more mentor programs in the cities. Brother, like one of my homeboys has one in Lakeland called Risk Club, and in the summer he do team business camp. And they go around all these different businesses and different organizations, and they get a chance to see, because if you don't see, it's hard for you to achieve what you can't see. And at that age, they captivated by what they see. They don't understand that this is just facade, this is just for entertainment, or whatever the case may be. Another big thing I say is, back to like I was at when I was at the boot camp, you know, we had those kids for 6 months, 9 months, some of them a year. We can keep them till they was 21 years old. But inside that program, they had religion, they had to, you know, mental health therapy, they had to go to school. A lot of the kids got education. So if you take all of that stuff away now, and you look at the youth, we don't have nowhere for them to even house them. They go straight to being charged as an adult at 14 years old. And like I should tell them back then, if you take that kid, I had one of the guys that was young, and he was, you know, messing with the music. He was working at my store, and he got into some federal trouble, and I went to court for him in Tampa at the federal court. And what I told the judge was, I said, if he's from a small town, he don't know anything, he come here, he get caught up. If you take this young man at 17 years old and you place him in prison, he's never gonna be rehabilitated. You're gonna lose him. And she was like, you know what? And I gave her my background, and she said, you know what? Because of him, I'm gonna give you house arrest. He went through trials and tribulations, but right now, he's a certified welder, making great money. But if he went to prison at that age, you know, so that's another big thing. Get some programs established again. You know, start worrying about how many SWAT trucks you got. Stop worried about this, that, and the third. Get somewhere to house these youth, where you making them educate themselves. Get some trade schools back in the high schools, because everybody don't want to go to college. It's not for everybody. And then I think we can start building some stuff. But until we can do that, it's just gonna be pray for them, man, because it's crucial. Yeah.
Well, I think most of it is that I've learned, especially in entrepreneurship, it is the financial end of it. You know what I'm saying? Whichever way you look at it, it always ties back into the financial part of it. Nowadays, what's going on is we have the ability to gain a lot of money.
Right. Off of it.
Especially when I see young kids, we teach them stocks, bonds, and trades and stuff like that. You're gonna kill the game because we're not dependent on somebody to put some money in your pocket. Or you know what I'm saying? But you gotta know how to, you know what I'm saying, invest a group or something like that.
And see, on the bigger standpoint, like what happened with Polk County is when those programs come out of the county budget most of the time, or the city budget. So when a new sheriff came in, Judd, he said, I'm not gonna spend $1.3 million to operate boot camp. Our old sheriff was like, every year we gonna come up with that 1.3 million because I got 80 males and 20 females of the worst criminals in Polk County, and I got them housed and nothing else right now. I got them off the streets. The sheriff would say, well, I'd rather get new take-home cars. I'd rather buy SWAT trucks, drones. I'd rather, give everybody take-home cars. I'd rather, do this stuff and go build this and go build that, rather than put that money into the budget and build those programs that you really need. You know what I mean? They'll raise taxes to build a highway, but you won't raise taxes to build a youth facility. So until we can do that, yeah, it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal, And I know that it worked because I have young men now that are grown, and they see me and they still call me Scenes Realist from the Way. They say, like, that was much realist for some of the stuff you taught me. I teach my kids this. Someone like, sir, I did 5 years in prison, but if it wasn't for the boot camp for you, I would have did 25. Or, sir, I did 15, but I would have been dead. Someone, sir, I never got in trouble again after I left out. I was like, man, I don't never want no parts of that. So, with everything moving as fast as we do, if we don't captivate them and, try to get them into something, because, the village thing, it's not over, but babies having babies, they don't understand what a village even was. For them, it's, cool to do the stuff that we know their kids be doing at them young age, them little truck videos, and it's like, oh my goodness, they dress them up in clothes that the kids can't even pronounce.
Right.
So, we ain't catching them now, so we don't catch them at that 13, 12, 13, 14, once they get 16, 17, their minds are developed. And it's like, what we do, we just lock them up like animals. Yeah.
So, you have a different aspect of it too, because you have a private school yourself, so you're seeing these kids, so the programs and the books and teaching that you are giving them at your private school, what has been working for you guys? Because I know that, in that area there are certain dependent kids and youth that come to y'all school.
Well, for starts, we believe in meeting a child where they are. Instead of, because all kids don't learn the same.
Right.
They're not on the same level. Although they say that East Tampa has the lowest reading deficit. So a lot of our kids are not reading.
Right.
But not that they can't read, but on level. Like from the second grade, they want you to read at the second grade level. But what we do is create things based on, the level the child is at. Right. So we do a lot of blended classes. So if I can be in the second grade, but I also have third graders. So the whole thing is to have the third grader pull up the second grader. Because a lot of times you're like, your peers are the best teachers. They teach each other. So, but one of the things that I am in the process of writing is a curriculum for